listeners, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, feeling good, cat skinning. What the heck is she up to now? Today is day 406 of my documenting how I'm transitioning from the offline brick and mortar world of businesses to the online world, and how I'm helping other businesses to add an online component to their business, because I know how powerful it can be. And I so wish, and during my tenure as an offline business owner, I always wanted to do online things and online components, but I never did them because I was too busy running my business and working in my businesses instead of on my businesses. And I realized how powerful it would have been and how much more successful and faster I could have done things in those businesses had I added an online component. And so my journey over the last couple of years of studying and learning and systematizing and creating products and services has been all about how do I help people supersize their business and grow their businesses. Now, you know, I've just finished up and am finishing up a women's summit, and the back end of the women's summit, we're doing a 30-day customer challenge. How to create an overriding customer framework and system or blueprint to do all the different aspects of handling customers for your organization. And it's pretty cool. It's going to be really powerful. I think we're going to have some amazing testimonials and success stories out of that, because I know how powerful it's been to create this framework for my business. And whether you're an offline business or an online business, we all have customers. We all need customers or we're not a business. So feeling good comes from actually one of these little cards from a card deck I found. I'm packing up and moving, and I found this deck in my son's room, and I'm like, oh, I haven't looked at that for a really long time. I'm just going to every day for the next 30 or 45 days look at each card that comes up next and see what it has to say. Well, today's is all about behind my every desire is my desire to feel good. And it talks about that everything we do, everything we think, everything we want, everything we desire boils down to, if you boil it down and ask yourself why, the fact that we want to feel good. We want to feel good about ourselves. We want to feel good about our lives. We want to feel good. Every choice we make, every sip of coffee, every caramel, everything we consume or eat or do or say or think or feel is in order to try to make us feel good, feel better. So if I binge on Netflix, it's because I'm stressed out and I'm avoiding something and I want to feel better. I want to feel good. And if I watch funny, lighthearted shows, that makes me feel good. If I eat caramels, that makes me feel good. So everything we do, even if it's not good for us, people smoke because it makes them feel good. It helps to relieve stress. Their brain gets wired for it. They're addicted to it. The addiction makes them feel good in the short term. Now, most everybody knows nowadays that smoking is bad for you, but they do it in the short term because it makes them feel good. It's the same reason drug addicts use drugs. People use whatever vice or bad habits they have is to feel good, feel better. We always do what we think is in our own best interest at the time. At the instant that we make a choice or a decision, it's always what our subconscious believes is to keep us safe or to keep us happy or make us feel better. And that isn't always what's good for us in terms of the long term or healthy or right for us. But our subconscious overrides and says, hey, I've done this in the past. It kept you safe, so we're going to keep doing it. And that's how we find ourselves in situations that aren't optimal. That's how we find ourselves dead, because we've worked ourselves to death from stress, because we keep doing what we're doing, thinking that it's the right thing for us and never stopping and saying, oh my God, this is bad. I have to stop doing this. Even though at a subconscious level, we know that it's bad for us, we still keep doing it. We've all had those habits. I mean, I don't think there's a person on the planet that doesn't in one way or another have had a bad habit throughout the course of their life. I mean, I think almost everyone has something that they need to overcome or learn from. So what does it have to do with skinning a cat? What does it have to do with what I'm doing? Well, I'm doing a little project where every day I just go live on my Facebook page, because I've never really been comfortable going live on my Facebook page. I'm challenging myself to stretch my comfort zone and go live on my personal Facebook page. And I thought, well, what's an easy way to do that without it being a super heavy or super businessy topic? And so what I've been doing is I had a book as I'm moving. I found this book on idioms. There's like 600 idioms in this book. So I just randomly pick a page, and then I pick one of the idioms and I share that on my Facebook Live page. And today's was, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Now, as a cat owner, I really get heebie-jeebied and skeevied out by this particular saying. I don't like it. I didn't used to mind it. I didn't even think about it because I didn't really like cats. I thought I was a dog person and I didn't own cats. But now since I have two main little fun living beings in my life that are cats, canines, I love them. I love these little cats. And so now I guess I am a cat and a dog person. I love animals, but I always thought of myself as a dog person. And now I'm like, oh, I really like cats. They're easy, they're fun. And both of my cats are so different. And I think that's part of what I like about them is they're like people. They have such different personalities that it's fun to interact with them on a daily basis because you never know what you're going to get. One is really lovey and attention and vocal, and the other one is very stealth and sleek, and it's just really fun to see the difference in their personality. And then to interact with them in different ways. It's like interacting with different people and figuring out what is the best way to interact with different people. So the saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Now, I like that saying in that it reminds us that there's so many different ways of getting to what you want. There's so many different ways to get the result or to achieve what it is that you want. There isn't just one method. And the real trick of everything is you have to figure out the method and the strategy that works for you. Now, there's frameworks and there's foundations and there's processes and there's systems, and there are shortcuts to things. But it's how you apply those shortcuts, or whether you do or do not apply those things that you learn, those foundations, those systems, those principles, those actually universal laws. We should all be following those, but most of us don't even know what they are. But there's ways that the world works. And if you go along with those ways that the world works, it's a lot easier to get the results you want. But how exactly that you apply those, that is uniquely and special and 100% up to you. That's part of why all of these different systems that gurus, including me, sell and teach people will work for some people and they won't work for others because they're my system. It's my system that I'm teaching you. It's their system that they're teaching you. It's the system that worked for them. Just because that system worked for them, even if you follow it step by step, you are not guaranteed to get the same results as them because you don't have the same foundation. You don't have the same experiences. You don't have the same understanding or knowledge or way of applying the steps that they teach you. But you can take those steps and you can shortcut your learning curve and your process to results if you apply each of those steps in your own unique, special way. That's the art of success. And there's a science to success and there's an art to success. The success formula for anything is the absolute same for whatever it is you want to accomplish and achieve. It's the same steps. And you can have 3 steps or 5 steps or 200 steps or 20 steps to a system, but it's how you personally apply and take action on those steps that makes a difference as to whether you're going to get a result or not. The bottom line and the absolute truth is most people don't ever apply the steps. Most people don't take action. They'll quit at step 1, or they'll quit at step 2, or they'll quit at step 20, but they won't ever get to how many ever steps there are in a particular system to see the success and the results that they want. And then the real power is in, once you get the results and the success, you go back and you do it again and you create your own system, your own way of doing things, your own methodology that is uniquely yours. And that's when everything really explodes and you get the exponential growth and you get the massive results beyond anything you thought that you could have ever even imagined because you internalize the process and make it your own. So I'm thinking about feeling good today. I woke up in one of those days where you're just kind of meh, and I don't wake up that way very often. I usually wake up just excited to jump into my day. But today is one of those days where I looked out and we've got so much snow and it's super duper cold. And I'm just like, really more snow, more cold. And it's just one of those winter blue things where you're in the house too much. You get a little cabin fever. And actually I wasn't in the house yesterday. I was out and about. But I woke up with that feeling of meh. And so I'm like, well, I want to feel good. And so it was just really interesting that I pulled a card that is all about everything we do is to feel good. So today I'm going to find a couple of things to do that have nothing to do with my 30-day challenge, that have nothing to do with the Women's Summit, that have nothing to do with work or packing and moving, although I got to do stuff for all those things. But I'm going to find a couple of activities that just make me feel good. I'm thinking an Epsom salt bubble bath that smells really good. That might be something that makes me feel good. So go out, make it an awesome day. Find something that makes you feel good. find different ways of looking at things and know that the way that you come up with and take action on is the way that's exactly perfectly right for you. If you're attracted to something and you see something and you're in a line, you feel good about working with somebody or following their system or reading their book or listening to their webinar, then do that because that is right for you. It's always tapping into how do we feel about something, and if it feels right for us, it's right for us. If it doesn't feel right for us, because we always have that inkling, we always have that knowing, then we know it's not right for us. So feel good today. Look for different ways of doing things. Don't skin any cats, please. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.